Ray 1704, what's the secret of maintaining focus on all the details for 10 minutes straight? Because if you don't, you're going to lose. You need to. If you really, really want to win, you have to be in the zone. You have to be focused on nothing but the game. Anytime something bad happens, you have to be problem solving, thinking about what's next. What are your win conditions? What do you need to do to get back into the game? Yeah, well, Riviera, that would be pretty hypocritical of me to get ad block when I have to run ads because, Liquid is sponsored by Twitch. I literally have to run ads like during my like an X amount per hour, which I will not discuss. But you have to do that. Like that would be very hypocritical of me, so I don't do it. And anytime I'm watching another stream, I sit through the ads. Because if I get supported while I do ads, I should support others while ads happen to them. So, yeah, I like light mode. Sorry, I do. But let's see here. There. That that's it from me. So what questions do you guys have? I know I didn't really take too many questions between maps. I just kept rolling. Yes, I do remember the European Quake Live player guard. I think he was it Lithuanian? Uh I don't know how to pronounce your name, but we're gonna call you Ake was.
What champs were helped the most with time limit versus round duel?
That is a great question, and I will answer that in a little bit. Aquaz, what? So you say you're asking. So what do I do if I don't play the matchup to perfection? You go in a corner and cry because you've lost. No, but really, what you need to do is before you go into the matchup, you need to think about what are the strengths and weaknesses of both champs based on the map that you're playing, and what are your win conditions. And if you're through the first like couple minutes of the game, you need to be thinking about how your opponent is playing, and if they're doing better than you, you need to think, okay, how are they doing better than me? Okay, and then quickly adapt and start avoiding the situations where you've been losing badly. You have to start doing that. You have to adapt on the fly and realize, okay, I can't take these fights anymore. Now these are the fights that I'm going to have to take. This is likely how he's going to play because he's up by, 3, 4 frags now. So it's going to make it very difficult, but these are my win conditions. Okay, I'm probably not going to get control for another 2 minutes if I play it perfectly, but that's what I have to aim for. And so you have to just keep updating, like, think of it like, like I mean, it is a video game, but think of it like you're constantly being updated with current objectives. What are your current objectives? And those objectives are to lead you to get kills, to get the lead, and to win the game. Right? And how do you do that as best as possible? And that has to constantly be updating to you. And if you go in a game and you're playing the matchup badly, you're likely going to lose. If you're playing into your opponent's strengths constantly, they're likely going to win. Like, you would have to be somebody who, even though they're very, very good, I mean, even though they're playing all of their best fights or whatever against you, you'd have to be just, I don't know. It'd be like me playing against a 1700 ELO player. It doesn't matter if I fight him in all of his best LG fights or he's really good with rockets and I keep fighting. I'm probably going to win because I'm going to beat him in control and beat him in everything else. But if it's somebody who's close to your skill, if you're constantly playing into their hands, you're going to lose. So it's just about recognizing that and learning from game to game what you need to do. I know that there's no video. That's fine. Like, it's over. So I'm just talking to you guys. So here, you can stare at the break screen. Okay? And you know what? You know what? You can look back. But here, you guys can stare at me, I guess. Let me do this. There. You can look at me now. I wanted the focus to be on the game, not on me. But yeah, and then another good question. What was it from? Fruit Quake. Thank you for the 5-month primary sub. What champs were helped the most with time limit versus round duel? Strog. Strog was helped immensely. Can I make this full screen maybe? Hold on. Nah, the ad. I'll just leave it small. I'll just be in a small box. I'll just let that. This is how I felt in Overwatch. I'm in this small box and I'm doing what I can. I'm doing what I can. Everybody's doing what they can in this small box that makes up the big box. Um, Strog was really affected by the change to time limit because you're only playing one champion in time limit for the whole 10 minutes. You're not rotating champs. So the fact that his passive is when you kill someone that, they get Stroyant, that the Stroyant drops and you can keep collecting that. Also, people don't realize, let's say DeHang and I are playing, and he's playing Strog, right? And we get in a big fight. If he kills me with a rocket, okay, if we get in a really close fight and he kills me with a rocket, but also kills himself, there are not just one, but two Stroyants dropped. If you kill yourself, a Stroyant is dropped on the map if you've blown yourself up. So then off of the spawn, when you both are respawning, he could potentially go get 50 overstacking health and be up to 175 right off the spawn like that if he goes back to the death location. So since he can respawn as that champion and keep going like that, that really, really helps. Also, Galena probably was helped some of the most since when she dies, her totems don't go away anymore. So when she's dead, her totems just stay up. And so it doesn't matter if you killed her sometimes. You didn't find her totems. Well, now she puts down the totem she couldn't use in the last fight, and she has mega health off spawn. And so then she can start taking control back, and it doesn't matter that you got heavy. She's going to cut you off and going to kill you anyway. That type of deal. And then who else? Eisen was really affected because the same thing. People's abilities that would last when they're dead. Like the fact that when he's dead, his turret can still stay there and can maintain a good position and help you in the next fight is very, very crucial. It helped Anarchy some because Anarchy can use the kit. He can constantly add health to his pool. So near the end of the game, sometimes your base health is 110. 110 to 115. That's really, really good to have 110, 115 base health as a light champion. I think it probably helped all of them the most. And then some of it did help the tanks play because when tanks die, they start with so much health and armor again. And so that's why slowly you've seen more and more champions across the board, light, medium, and heavy, all be played because they really do have a place in time limit duel depending on how the meta currently is with balance. Some of that balance is there's going to be some champs that are good on almost every map. But then there are those that really, really excel in the right hands on like 2 to 3 maps. And then you have like every now and then like 1 or 2 champs where like Clutch, for example, has to be a specialist thing. But otherwise, I think we've seen pretty much every single champ played over the last few months. And that's been really exciting to see that there is so much diversity in all of that. Okay, let's look up some other questions here. Let's see here. Llama already answered that one. Orcus, good question. Which way is better to play to improve duel? Fast and aggressive, or slow and tactical? Um, I would say what you want to do is you want to be playing slow and tactical for duel, and to work on your aggression, play other modes. Play deathmatch and team deathmatch or unholy trinity to work on your aggressive aim, so that when you have to come from behind or you need to you actually use your stack in a fight, like you should be aggressive and take it, because it is different aiming aggressively than it is defensively. But you practice outside to get good at that. But you need to be working on your tactics. You need to know how to be disciplined, focused on timing, what positioning works best, leaving yourself an out, and not trying to have so many all-in fights. I think that's the best option for you. Yes, I just did, Mr. Pistolero. All I've done is done a review of that game, and that's all I'm doing. And I'm just answering some questions from you guys now, since I haven't done that in a while. And then that's it from me. And I will see you guys next year. So let's see here. Hmm. That's a good question. Dimitri asks, Rafa, how has Cooler changed his game from last year? I think what's been better about Cooler this year is that his champ diversity has gotten better. Um, it was very, very good to see him try to get good with Strog at Italy. The fact that he's venturing out of just playing VQ3 champs, and even though he will play Anarchy or Sorlag, but to play a crouch sighting champ or to play something else, like it's good that he's like expanded his champ pool. And I think just his mechanics, his fighting has been better overall this year. He's just been a bit more consistent, and I think you see that in his results. Um, so yeah, and I think even though even though Kilson won QuakeCon and it was a huge win from him, I'd say this is the year of Cooler so far. Like the two big tournaments we had, because he got second place at QuakeCon and then he won. And not only did he win Italy, he was able to beat Kilson in the semifinals. And so then he was able to overcome that hurdle, so to speak, and then manage to win. And actually, it was a very surprising performance, like in the fact that he won 3-0 against Razy, because he's typically struggled against Razy, and I think but he played him just the way he needed to in that final, and it was very impressive. So, but yeah, this year Cooler Kilson have been like 1-2, and then I'd say Razy has to be number 3 because he finished fourth at QuakeCon and then second at Italy, and then I'm probably up there at around like number 4 right now. I'm going to be trying to change that this next year. Twisted Destiny. Okay, this is an easy one to answer. Rafa, why is Galena picked when no one ever runs into totems? Because there are so many fights where with that you win that if you were another champ and you literally could just add 50 health to you like that, like you're collecting some armor but you're weak on health, the fact that you can get that health freely if you keep that totem to use really can make you strong and obtain a chokehold on the map that you otherwise couldn't, and you would have to play with more respect. Also, it's just, dude, her hiding totems. She constantly is hiding totems, taking up vials so that she is using her ability more than you, and trying to get the overstack potential of the 3 totems at once, and to get up to like mega health stack without needing to take mega health. That's why a lot of people play her. Plus, her hitbox is a little small, so for a medium champ, and that also helps in certain fights. Are all champs viable? Yes, depending on matchups. Yes, they are loose cannon. Or roof duty. Good question. The Kionari, do people pick Visor to counter Nyx, or do they pick Nyx after a Visor pick? It's a bit of both. Sometimes you just want to first pick Visor because you're like, I think this player is going to pick Nyx. And if they want to pick Nyx into it on this specific map, it would be dumb for them to do it. And so they do it. Or they just pick Visor because they feel like they would be more well matched. Whatever. Like I said, Blood Covenant is the map where it's really even between Visor Nyx. And a lot of it depends on the start because of how well she can maintain high ground. That's what makes it very difficult, and she can constantly get railgun. Whereas in order to attack her at certain positions, Visor has to rocket jump, sacrifice stack and predictability and position to be able to do that sometimes, and can be very difficult. But on a map like Awoken, I would pick Nyx into Visor. I have done it. I did it. I did it against Dramas. I picked Nyx first on that map, and then he picked Visor, and I was just like, well, Visor is not very much a counter to Nyx on Awoken because there's so much armor around, and it is so easy for Nyx to maintain and get high ground and constantly be getting the first shot all the time. And then where the vials are positioned, it's normally better for Nyx to be at those areas to get them, so then she gets invis back faster. So Awoken is not a map where you really want to be playing Visor into Nyx. It's very hard as Visor. Once you play against a really good player, you find that out, and you're like, well, shit, this isn't actually that much of a counter on this map. Loose Cannon 33, good question. Should I play all champs or stick to one when I'm learning duel? I'd say when you're learning duel, try to pick something that works on most maps and just work on your overall game. And then as you get better, you can start expanding that. Detlef, good question. Rapha, how satisfied are you with your performance throughout Quake Pro League so far? I mean, I did everything that I could, considering how I felt at QuakeCon with getting sick, and I played the best that I could, and I was so close to getting to that grand final, and giving myself a chance at another QuakeCon title. So I laid it all on the line. I played really, really well, and it just came down to me. I needed to win one more map in a couple different matchups, and I would have been there. So I was pretty happy with how I played. Um, and especially with how I persevered and played through the third, fourth game against Razy. And then I could have played a little bit better at Italy, but even then I was in very good shape. And I've talked about this before. I got ciphered, man. Every now and again, Cypher has one of those matches where he is just, even when he's out of position, he is hitting everything, and it's just saving him time and time again. And he's just in the zone. And even if you're playing super, super well, it's so hard to win. And that's just how that match ended up being for me. So I just know that I need to keep doing what has worked to get success before, is reviewing my own games, reviewing my opponent's games, putting in the practice, putting in the work, and once I get to land, just believe in myself and go with the game plan. And so that's why I said, hopefully I'm going to be doing a lot better here in 2020. Hold on, I'm a little behind. Pinoil Terrible, or Terabile. Thank you for the Prime sub. Rapha, can you point out with any specific catalyst where your aim improved to what it is now, or has it always been a constant gradual improvement? I just think because if you look back at, there's some Quake 3 demos, I think, still up on ES Reality of when I played at ESWC Masters of Athens, where I got my first ever win, and that was in Quake 3. That tournament had CRT monitors. And playing on CRT monitors back then, even with the computer, they could run Quake 3 phenomenally already. But the fact that you had a CRT, my aim at that tournament was pretty damn good. But that is like right at the era where everybody started pumping out and producing LCD monitors. And even though they were shitty at the time, now they're great. I love LCD. I don't want to go away from it because the technology has finally gotten there. But for quite a few years, I think just technology itself with monitors and mice and things like that kind of held me back. But it has been a gradual improvement, and I think my aim did improve a lot back in 2013 when we had the Clan Arena year where we played Clan Arena and Duel, and then my aim seemed to spike up again when I came back from like Overwatch into Quake Champions. And 2v2 I think really helped me. Just the constant fighting just really helped my aim a lot and got me to be even more consistent. But give me a sec here, folks. I had a bunch of you do some donations and things like that, so let me read it. Let's see here. So Slob, I missed this earlier, about an hour or two ago. Thank you so much for the 11-month Prime resub. My boy Dehang, thank you for the 16-month resub and for being an awesome teammate and friend. Thank you. Glad Boys, thanks for gifting 4 subs to the Kiyonari, Zuper, Kopyohun, and CK37. Then Sledgehammer, thank you for the 1,000 bits, man. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Fruitquake, thank you for the 5-month Prime resub. And just now, Pinoiled Terabile, thank you so much for the Prime sub. I appreciate it. Let's see. Because Kanavakil, I want to chill out. I want to just relax tonight. It's New Year's Eve. I want to spend time, friends and loved ones. Like that's what I want to do. And I will be back most definitely in the next day or two to just keep streaming some more. So, but that's it from me, everybody. I love you guys. It's been an awesome 2019. I can't wait for 2020 and everything that's going to happen. Let me see if anybody is streaming right now. It looks like Sirius is playing, so I'm going to host him. You can watch his sick skill with shooting. He's really fucking good at aiming. And if you got any questions on how to aim better, you can ask him. So yeah, take care, everybody. Have a wonderful night, and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.